This week's videos were sponsored by Rocket Money, a personal finance app that I've been using for about a year and a half now before we ever partnered up with them. After the reaction, I'll tell you why I love them so much and what they are. On to the video, Reject Nation. Citizens of the Reject Nation, we are back for Doctor Who episode 4 or 3. I don't know. These what the do you know?
Season something or other, episode something.
Do you guys
it's called Boom this week.
And changing the titles on all of them so often. Just like 14 by 2,
No
season 1,
uniformity.
episode 2. I don't know what the heck to call it. But guys, how have you been enjoying Doctor Who so far? Really loved the Devil's Chord episode. I'm excited for the evolution of Doctor Who. And I wanted to say a thank you once again to everyone who watched the interview I did with Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson. I saw so many positive comments, warmed my heart. So please go ahead and check that out. If you haven't seen our other reactions, please go ahead and check that out too. In the meantime, you know what to do. Take a sonic screwdriver to that like button. Also subscribe and click the notification bell to get notified when a reaction for the next Doctor Who is up here on the channel. Thank you to Prepper for editing down these highlights. Thanks to all of you guys who have been joining our Patreon page, making it bigger than ever, becoming super sexy rejects. Over there, you get the full-length reaction watch-along. That's where you sync up with your own copy of Doctor Who, and we cover several things over there exclusively with highlights and watch-alongs included. Massive extension of the channel.
Bigger on the inside.
And also, speaking of bigger on the inside, last thing I'm going to plug, because I'm just plugging nonstop things here right now. The TARDIS shirt right here, full of a bunch of Doctor Who quotes. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff.
Tishy-wee shirt.
Tishy-weeshy shirts.
All on tees.
Let's do it.
Returning to base following grade 1 encounter. 2 survivors, 1 injury, ETA 20 minutes.
Whoa.
Everywhere in LA takes 20 minutes.
Oh, Daredevil.
And Mark Strong.
Well, I need to smell your minty breath.
How can you smell my breath over the comp?
Dad skills, that's how.
He's not lying.
He's the coolest dad ever.
We were right in the middle of a minefield. There were no mines here yesterday.
They must have migrated again.
Uh-oh.
Some of the men think the Custodians are in the fog, like they're made of fog.
Like John Carpenter's film The Fog.
The fog's been analysed and it's just fog.
It's just superstition, my friend.
Hey, I'm really close. Find Monday and get her to put you to bed.
Mundi.
Kiss, kiss.
Bang, bang.
Gay Perry.
Due north's our best bet. I think there might be an ambulance.
Uh-oh.
I'll be fine.
I don't need my eyes.
Oh, ambulances are bad.
Asking you to switch patrols with me. It's not exactly loaves and fishes, is it?
I'm not a bishop. I'm not allowed.
He's like holy warrior.
God is my witness, on my soul eternal.
The Eternals.
I'll let you see my tattoo.
They do look like they're wearing like priest,
It's not a
reverend.
general view.
They
Collars.
are. They do have the collars. Yeah.
Look, I'm only doing this because I want you to stop
Great.
annoying me.
Thank you.
Tattoo?
Sorry, some posh Graham. I finished it yesterday. You'll love it.
You should be nice to Kanto. He likes you.
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
I was just joking about that.
He's not joking.
Uh-oh. Dr. Friendzone.
What's wrong?
Ambulance, dead ahead.
Oh, shit.
That a Dalek?
Is it a Dalek ambulance?
Your eyes, it might detect the injury.
Well, it might help me then.
Operate!
So the algorithm's haywire right now.
You're just telling me. You guys have no idea what YouTube's been like.
And I guess it could be dormant. It's a long way from the fighting.
Well, they're combat activated. They power down when there's nothing going on, but their sensors stay active.
You know, I'm not even sure it's...
Whoa, damn. Use your eyes, mate.
Did he just trip? Or did the fog push him?
Okay. I'm not injured. Just stay where you are. I'll just...
Ooh! Mine!
Damn.
Whoa, that's an evil mine.
Yeah. What the? What the?
Combat detected. Combat detected.
Oh, Christ.
Patient acquired.
Oh.
Scratch.
Sharp scratch.
Patient name, John Francis Baker. Calendar age, 42 years.
Spice.
Diagnosis, blind.
Not blind.
Ouch.
Eyesight recovery time estimated.
X is for eyes.
4 weeks.
Oh, man.
Unacceptable. Combat medical. Failed.
Listen,
Jesus.
I have a child at base camp. She's my daughter and I'm exclusively responsible for her. Please, check my records.
Leave a message at the tone.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Teledoc, what have you done?
Leave it for your daughter.
Kiss, kiss.
Next of kin. Informed.
Wow, dude.
Vanguard Corporation would like to extend its deepest condolence on your upcoming loss. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers, baby. Ow.
Oh, he arrived just at the right time.
Right on time. Jeez.
Did you hear that?
Give me a sec.
That's a cool transition.
Stay there!
Oh no.
Let's go.
Beware of the ground.
Yeah, the fog. Oh.
Doctor?
Got a neat run.
Run through that volume. Run through that volume. Get that treadmill run.
No, no.
No! Okay, so where do you get vaporized to? Unless he can whip the Sonic out right quick.
Maybe he like whips it out and then is able to stop it, but he still can't take his foot off it.
Oh, that'd be a fun bottle episode.
It's like 127 hours, and he has to cut his
He has
foot
to
off.
cut his foot off with a Sonic screwdriver. But it doesn't work on tissue, so you just gotta gnaw it off. Oh, Steven Moffat
wrote
what
it.
up?
Okay, cool.
Doctor!
Ooh, ominous.
Is he singing like his death song?
Everything's fine.
Whoa.
Come toward my voice and watch where you put your feet.
Oh.
Why are you singing?
I think that's the fog singing.
Skyboat song.
No, it is him. Okay. Wow, that perfect yoga balance.
I didn't ask what you were singing. I asked why.
Getting my zen on. I need you to describe to me what I'm standing on. Fairly sure I know, but details are important.
Why hasn't it set off already when you stepped on it?
I love how Ruby actually asked a good question.
Yeah.
Now it's confirming if there's a live target on it. One wrong move and boom.
The title.
I go all food mixer.
Oh no.
Where are we?
In the middle of a war.
Oh, I was kind of hoping for a beach.
Could be.
What do you think this is?
It's not a beach.
Yeah, it is.
Son of a beach.
Everywhere's a beach eventually.
It's a sort of disc, white disc. It's really thin. It's got lights around the edge, around the rim, green light.
A CD player.
Oh, it's a Walkman.
Okay, very slowly, very carefully move around me.
We're gonna trade places, Ruby.
Yes. And you gotta remain supremely calm.
Why does a landmine have lights on it?
Capitalism.
Nice.
Flashy lights play well in a showroom.
Sure.
Modern warfare. Death by salesman.
I mean, it is a cool looking mine.
You gotta convince them to buy it.
Right under your foot, in front of you.
How big is it?
4 fingers?
I'd buy that landmine.
That's better than 2 fingers. For instance, is there a V on it?
Yeah. V for victory?
Vanguard.
Oh.
Biggest weapons manufacturer in recorded history. Supplied all sides in all conflicts for the past 2 centuries in this sector.
Oh, cool.
Someone was screaming. Came from directly up there. Can you check and see if anyone needs help? While you're up there, see if you can see anything heavy. A good-sized rock.
Or maybe just around there where he's standing. Yeah.
But if I put my other foot down on the ground, it will shift my weight. I need to counterbalance. I need to increase the weight on the mine at the exact moment I decrease it.
Like Indiana
It'll be
Jones.
tricky.
It's gonna be a moment.
I love their back and forth.
Anyone there?
Nothing, just a flashy light thing.
Oh boy.
Hang on.
Found something.
Voss water bottle filled with rock pee.
A weird thing.
It's a heavy, weird thing. Bring it.
Oh jeez.
Take your bike. Don't worry. Vacuum drones, that's all.
What a great setup from the beginning to put us in the stakes here.
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose that's...
Oh,
Wow.
whoa.
Wowie.
Ruby, have you seen something?
It's beautiful.
Have I?
Oh, Ruby, I'm sorry, I forgot. Your first time on a new planet. A brand new sky. We're on Castarian 3, going by the rings next door. Decent enough.
I love how for his performance, he has to keep this struggle increasing.
I think this is an urn, but it's kind of gross. What is it?
Never mind.
It's a Cronenberg.
Okay, that isn't an urn.
Is it
There isn't a body inside that is a body.
neat?
Oh.
Dead body. Compressed somehow. Like it's been, I don't know, smelted? That thing, toss it in your hand and catch it, please.
Why?
Looks like a Freddy Krueger fleshlight.
Okay, it's exactly 6.732217 kilograms. I was trying not to show off. Throw it to me.
Let me give it to you.
No.
You'll have a much better chance
No.
if I just put it in your hand.
You will be caught in the blast.
So let's get it right then.
And then we get a new doctor.
New one every episode.
I get too worried about you and my blood pressure goes up, and I don't know how much leeway I have.
Best not to worry then.
Jeez.
I mean, if you die, how would you get back home?
So how are we going to do this? Count of 3?
Please listen to me.
No arguing, Doctor. Blood pressure.
focus on my voice.
Ruby, if this doesn't work, you are brave.
She's very brave.
And I forgive you for being incredibly stupid.
Good then.
And if it does work,
Thank you.
I'm gonna be very cross at you. Very long time.
Not that long, babes.
And Bob's your uncle.
Standing on a landmine.
Whoa.
This is just like the toilet scene in Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh no.
I need a beat, like a song. Sing the song.
The song?
Over the sea to sky. That's the last line.
Oh.
Songs about soldiers should be sad, don't you think? Because
Okay, Doctor, I'm ready. Stop babbling.
He's procrastinating.
speed.
Music again.
Where's the
What a-
maestro?
Onward the sailors cry.
Ticking time clock.
Over the sea to sky.
Bars. Oh, oh,
Oh, a teardrop.
teardrop.
Perfect.
The lights are moving.
That's okay, that's right, it's fine. It's the after effect. You need to relax.
They're still moving.
Maybe don't keep mentioning that. I'm scared, I cried. She replied, young man, don't you know there's more to life?
Breathe.
I think that's it. Oh, it's close. No margin for error.
He's so terrified.
Thank you, John Francis Vater.
Hello, I'm John Francis Vater.
Good thing he didn't react.
These are my mortal remains. At your convenience, please return them to my parents, Agnes and Millicent Vater.
Vater.
Yeah.
What happened to you, John?
I was humanely terminated on the discovery of the fatal condition, blindness.
Fatal condition.
Wow.
Who terminated you, John?
I was spared further suffering by a Vanguard automated ambulance unit. My recovery was estimated as beyond acceptable parameters.
You were expendable.
Killed by an ambulance.
Life is cheap. Patients are expensive. The Vanguard algorithm.
The villain guard.
The algorithm maintains a fighting force at just above the acceptable number of casualties. Keeps you fighting, keeps you dying, keeps you buying.
Woof.
War is business, and business is booming.
Boom.
Inglorious bastards.
Good to meet you, John.
Kiss, kiss.
Daddy?
Oh no.
No. Go back to Tatooine.
Is my daddy there? I heard him.
He was killed for being blind.
I'm looking for my daddy.
Are you my daddy?
Shouldn't you be tucked up in bed? Just a little kid like you doing out in a nasty war like this.
My dad got special permission to bring me
How far away is the war and stuff?
because my mummy got gathered up.
Ugh.
Is that what the bottle means? Gathered up?
She got gathered up by God. He loved her so much that he gathered her up early so she can be in heaven with him like an angel.
She got raptured.
This is Ruby, and my name is the Doctor, and I'm not even a doctor.
I'm Splice.
Great name!
What are you, a splice of?
Splice Alison Vader.
Ah.
Splice, Alison Vater. You have been identified as the next of kin of John.
No, 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 no.
Your deceased parent.
No, 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 no. Oh my God.
No, please! Get off me! No, get please! Splice!
If I'm causing distress,
If I'm causing distress.
kiss, kiss.
Whoa, jeez.
So close. So close.
See that? See what he's standing on? You're okay.
Adrenaline rush. Just gotta control it.
Oh boy.
What an amazing performance. It's like you got to feel such weight just standing there.
That's got to be so graceful. Oh shit.
Oh, it's starting to happen.
I'm humming.
Turning the lights blue.
I'm the explosive.
You're in my sights! I can drop you where you stand.
It does just not stop building.
Yeah.
Signal your understanding!
I understand.
He's on a landmine. He's standing right on one.
Ma'am, I'm fully apprised of what he's standing on. Splice, you okay down there?
I'm here, Wendy. I'm trying to find Daddy. I saw him. He was a hologram. Where is he?
Oh no.
Oh, he can't let go of it, though.
Yeah, jeez.
My name is Mundy Flynn. I'm an ordained Anglican Marine.
Anglican Marine.
This is like a play.
Yeah.
What are you doing out here? Anglican what?
Great name, Monday Flynn. You should marry Ruby, then you'll be Monday Sunday.
Since when was the church an army?
Since most of your history, you've been living in a blip.
It's most of your history.
Are you aware those are the sacred remains of an ordained Anglican?
Called a casket.
Get back to the compound.
You're giving me orders now.
I'm worried.
Shut up, you're worried. You don't even like me.
I...
Love you.
This idiot little war, who are you fighting? The Castarians. Go on, tell me about the Castarians.
We've never seen them.
Excuse me?
They're in the mud. Well, that's what we think.
Oh my God.
Killing it.
Is it not real?
Do you know how ridiculous you sound? I've met sentient mud lovely girls.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to let go of that casket.
Give me a rock then.
No, if he drops the casket, it'll trigger the landmine. It'll kill him.
He's dead already.
Where's your sonic screwdriver?
There's no explosive in this landmine, right?
Immolation triggers a quantum level chain reaction in the subject's DNA. You are the explosive.
I'm a Time Lord.
Doctor!
Jesu Christe.
I am a higher dimension life form. I am a complex space-time event.
That's just a belief.
Yeah. I am the Church of England.
I'm a much bigger bang than you bargained for.
Ooh, I'm a boom.
Quantum chain reaction through me and I will shatter this silly little battlefield of yours into dust.
Oh, shit.
Everywhere is a beach eventually.
He could be the beach.
God, he's the wave.
You could blow up half of this planet.
Let's go for all.
Combat detected.
Shooting!
Combat detected.
The algorithm won't let me. What is that thing?
Combat detected.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Please stop it. Please, you've got to stop that thing.
Whoa.
Hello, Dr. Spice. Can I assist you with any persistent regrets?
Persistent regrets.
God damn it.
That's when we saw the antelope.
Check. She's really distracted very easily.
Yes. You sure it's a good idea to have her in a battle zone?
Shoot me. It needs to detect an injury or it won't triage. Shoot me now. It's fine. I put it on setting 1. Just do my arm or something.
To the head.
Right to the eyes. No, God damn it, of course.
What the hell?
No.
This is an catastrophe.
Yeah, goddamn lover boy.
No, we're about to learn my Ruby special, though.
Doctor, what's happening?
Sharp scratch.
Ow.
Ruby Sunday. Calendar age 3082 years.
Whoa. Oh, is it? But is it because they're in the future?
They're in a different planet, though.
Next of kin.
Oh, existential crisis. Look at that power.
Oh, that is not snow. It is ash.
It doesn't snow here. It never snows.
No, it's Ruby. The snow is good. While there's snow, there's hope.
There's hope. Time has frozen.
Shit.
It stopped. How can it do that? How can it just stop?
Did she stop?
Mortality estimate 432 seconds.
Oh.
Patient non-ordained.
Think faster.
God, if you could just put that ambulance on the mine. God, the editing. And these like crazy little angles they're throwing in.
We're doing everything we can.
Reconfiguring the ambulance protocols.
I hate you, man.
Yeah, dude.
But it's not programmed to assist non-believers.
You gotta accept our religion.
What can we do?
Surrender.
I love this commentary on religious wars.
Yeah, right.
Lose. Give in.
Oh.
Even if I had the divinity to authorize that, it wouldn't switch off the landmine.
Yes, it would.
Why?
Because it's your landmine.
What?
Hang on in there. I still need you. I can't think unless I'm talking, and I can only talk to you. You figured it out yet? I don't think Monday's figured it out.
Figured what out?
They set up their defenses and fired their warning shots into the air. Watch out, we come in peace.
We
Watch
advertised
out.
our presence. It's standard procedure.
Is that what you call it?
That activates the Valengard algorithm, the acceptable casualty rate algorithm. Keeps you dying, keeps you buying. Do you get it?
Oh.
Damn.
Do you get it?
They sit together.
Get it?
Oof.
There's nobody else here.
You're just fighting nobody. You're just fighting yourselves.
You declared war on an empty planet. There are no Castarians in the mud.
I wonder if you improvise. I get it.
Just the algorithm, maintaining an acceptable casualty rate in the face of nothing at all.
Gotta keep the profits moving.
You are fighting your own hardware and it's killing you at just the right amount to keep you buying more.
Wow, man.
I mean, most armies would notice that they were fighting smoke and shadows, but not this lot. You know why? Because they have faith.
Shut up!
Faith.
Oh.
The magic word that keeps you never having to think for yourself.
Ooh,
Jesus, dude.
Holy shit.
Oh, my God.
Oh, damn.
Prove it.
Proof. Everybody wants proof at the end of the day.
Now you need proof. Faith, Gyal.
Faith, Gyal.
Find proof that the planet is uninhabited and that the casualty rate is hardware driven. Send it to the scanner in Mundy Flynn's hand.
That is against my digital protocol.
Shut up and Google. However little is left of you, you are still a father. You never let them down.
There's emotions in ChatGPT.
Oh. Give him the right things to learn from. Prompt him.
I'll be back. Do your teeth.
Kiss, kiss.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
holy shit.
3 minutes, maybe.
Thoughts and prayers.
Oh my god.
Doctor hates religion.
Yeah.
I saw your tattoo. The one you did on Posh Graham was beautiful.
You checked out my tattoo on Posh Graham.
Of course.
Check out everything you tell me to check out.
But why? Why did you even come out here? Why were you looking for me?
God damn, you know why.
Yeah, dude, come on.
Do you like me?
Of course I like you. Everyone knows I like you. Except Posh Graham, who now thinks I like him.
Aww.
Hang on. Does that mean you like
This
me?
is cute, but we have 3 minutes.
Jeez.
Kanto, talk to me. Are you alright?
Kanto's dead.
I'm fine. How are you?
He's an AI. Wow, you immediately just become that, huh?
Wow. Damn, that was fast.
It's like they're ghosts.
Ghosts in the machine.
You are identified as Mundy Flynn, my designated favorite person.
Oh no. Oh man.
If anything happens to me,
Oh, dude.
I want you to know that I love you.
Of course.
And I don't believe in any of this war shit.
And honestly, it's okay that you don't love me back.
Jeez.
Damn, that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's so icky.
I know.
It was my fault. I distracted him.
Whole battle's been a distraction.
It was nothing to do with you. It was the algorithm breach. The Vanguard algorithm is protecting itself.
Of course.
The ambulance killed him.
Whoa.
You sent Daddy in there. He's fighting back. Look.
We'll fight harder, Daddy.
Come on, Daddy. War Daddy.
Tell your daughter to run now. Dad to dad.
I'm safe with Daddy.
Safe, Antelope, safe, can't.
Ambulance lady.
Any attempt to interfere with the Vanguard algorithm will be met with severe fines.
Yes. Pay us.
The AI, known as John Francis Veta, has been identified as a hostile data virus
Of
and
course.
permanently deleted.
What? No.
Final countdown commencing.
Both of you, run!
Where's my daddy? I'm not living without my daddy.
And I'm not giving you much kiss.
Is Ruby gonna do something?
I'm so sorry, Ruby.
3,
Whoa.
1, kiss, kiss.
Oh! Yeah, he took over.
Dust.
Kiss, kiss.
He fought.
Kiss, kiss.
Kiss, 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 kiss. Patient acquired. Patient acquired. Patient acquired.
Hey.
Help her.
Come on.
Revivification protocol initiated.
Revivification. Damn.
Kiss, kiss.
Hey. X's. Kisses X's. Nice.
What's happening?
Your father, who art in heaven. The whole Vanguard arms industry, all of it, just got beaten up by this little kid's dad.
My dad could beat up your dad.
Oh, why are you lying around missing all the good stuff? I think if I had a diary, it would be a little bit too exciting for words. I think I could write it with drums. Can you write?
Yes.
I bet I could.
Please, I want to see that. Let's go.
The whole Vanguard mainframe has been taken down by parent power. Vanguard, basically. Just wait till Daddy gets home.
Mic drop.
Well done.
Right, enough of that. Moving on. I suppose I'm so sorry about your dad.
Why are you sorry?
Because he's gone now.
Silly. He's not gone.
I got his guts right here.
Yep.
He's just dead. He's not gone.
And this is why faith comes in handy.
Sure.
That is exactly right. You keep the faith, Splice.
Keep the right kind of faith.
I thought you didn't like faith much, Doctor.
Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I don't need it.
Fair. Solid point.
Converting to Judaism.
Yes.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye. I will be popping in every now and then. Fish fingers and custard is my favorite.
Oh!
Call back to 11! 11!
He watched every Matt Smith episode to prepare for that line.
Yes.
Do you think she'll be alright?
Splice, future president of something.
I mean, if she can learn to be aware of her surroundings.
Till then, she's got Mundy and her dad.
But her dad's dead.
We're all dead eventually.
That's
Anytime that we're not dead.
Every second we're living, we're dying.
And through most of time, most of us are dead.
Dying defines us.
Looking at us. I love how you said that line to the camera.
Yeah.
We all melt away in the end.
This is causing us to reflect.
A sad old man once told me, what survives of us is love.
Aww. I'm trying to think. Whose quote is that?
It's like,
For all y'all snowflakes.
Reject Nation, when I heard that this company wanted to partner up with us yet again, I was so enthusiastic about it. Reason being, I had already been using their product for well over a year by the point we first ever collaborated with them. So the fact that we get to have this ongoing partnership just makes me a happy camper. And that is, of course, for the app Rocket Money. Now, if you guys don't know what Rocket Money is, don't worry. I got you covered. I'll tell you about them in just a little bit. But before that, I wanted to share with you guys why I love this app so much. It's actually a very personal reason. You see, like many of you guys, I too grew up in a home where money did not come easily, needless to say. The predominant conversation in my family household was undoubtedly about financial struggle, financial worry. And that does a number on you. So it certainly seeped into my adulthood when I was trying to learn how to become financially independent. And to this day, as someone who talks a lot about working on his mental health, who's proudly going to therapy, no matter how much lack we might have in money one day or how much success we might have in money sometimes, I still have to have this ongoing conversation about my relationship with money. I'm half Filipino, so my mom's always talking to me about taxes to this day. I think, though, it does start with how you manage the finances you currently have. See, before I ever acquired any type of reasonable living money, I heard someone speak about how you have to learn what to do with $1 now. Essentially, the talk was about don't wait until you have like a bunch of money and then start figuring out what to do with it afterwards. Like you got a bunch of toys to play with. If you want to acquire more in life, you have to first figure out what you're going to do with what you currently have. And that's why I love this app. It's applicable for any financial stage you are at in life. Come to think about it, it would have been very beneficial for me when I was in a real struggle boat years ago. So in summary, as someone who is constantly having an ongoing working relationship with how to handle money, Rocket Money has helped make that relationship a lot healthier in my life. So what are they if you don't know what they are? What they are is a personal finance app that simplifies managing money by canceling unnecessary subscriptions, lowering your bills, and crafting a budget that fits your specific lifestyle. I'm telling you, Reject Nation, there's no greater feeling than when you look at the following month and you see that, oh my God, I have saved money. I've spent less. And progress equals happiness. And the best part is Rocket Money does a lot of the heavy lifting by analyzing your spending, then customizes notifications to stay within your budget goals. Because it's not just about saving money. It's about actively seeing and feeling your financial progress. And one of my favorite qualities about their service too is when it comes to monthly subscriptions. We've been blessed to be able to expand the team and hire more people, but with that in mind, that also comes with a lot more expenses. So as this business has been growing, having to track exuberant amount more has been just as important. So now I have to track a lot of these business expenses, then I got to track my own personal finances. So in general, it's already been helping out a lot with that. But as you want to make things more efficient, you often find yourself signing up for a lot of apps for free trials that you quickly forget about. Next thing you know, you're paying a hefty fine for it. I'm sure even if you don't have a YouTube channel, there's some way you could relate with that. You see, because they track your monthly subscriptions and they make it super easy to cancel the ones you do not use. Couple of clicks and you're putting money back into your pocket. So if you're like me, you found hidden subscriptions or pay for services that you totally forgot about, Rocket Money was a lifesaver in uncovering those and even negotiated some of my bills to about, like I'd say, like down by 20%. So if you want to join me on this journey of consistently taking care of your finances, do not want to start later. The best time is to start right now. So please do yourself a favor, check out Rocket Money and see how much you too can be saving. That way you can stop wasting money on things you don't use. Believe me, when it came to my accountant and tax season, that was a really big note. Visit rocketmoney.com/rejects. They've helped me and I'm confident they'll do the same for you. That's rocketmoney.com/rejects. Your wallet will thank you. Because Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a a year when using all of the app's features. So a great way to support your lifestyle and a great way to support the channel is by going and downloading the Rocket Money app yourself. And if it does help you, please go ahead, drop me a message. I'd love to hear if there's some way by just conveying this message it has helped you out too. Thank you, Reject Nation. Damn, these last 2 episodes feel nothing like Space Babies.
That's true. The show sucks now. I hate both of these episodes. Bring back the silly, I say. This needed more farting.
And that was an amazing bottle episode, for sure.
And a way to deconstruct what the bottle is.
I think Midnight might still be my all-time favorite episode.
That is an all-timer.
However, you know, like what they've done here, I think is really cool because they kept it, you know, a game of, it's like the end of Prisoner of Azkaban when everyone just keeps coming in, keeps topping, you know, and it's like a play, this scene. Yeah. But they still managed to do it where it felt very sci-fi heavy the entire time. And this is one of those demonstrations to me of when sci-fi can be really cool allegories for commentary on society, right? You know, a lot of times so many deaths have been, so many deaths and casualties in the name of religious wars for faith in something that is not tangible here. It's just for a belief system. And then, of course, the commentary on, you know, arms dealing as well.
The business of war.
The business of war, the ugliness of it. All this is very profitable. And I think to focus it in on just these human experiences is the most powerful way you can actually do it, while just making it a really strong because that's all kind of like a backdrop, you know. All that is very much laced into, you know, this wonderful recipe of an episode, but it's more about the immediacy of the stress of the situation and just, you know, having to survive and as well. And then wrap it. And I love the wrap up that it was by the end of it. It's like, while there's been a lot of these like bullshit wars fought, it's also saying, you know, not all versions of faith is bad. You know, I've had this conversation kind of with a lot of people. Like, I personally don't subscribe to any particular religion. However, there's plenty of stories I've seen about people involving faith that have brought me to tears, have really moved me. And there's definitely people I know in real life who have faith, and I encourage them to maintain that because I see the kind of individual they are. And I loved like the ending moments here, especially when he's talking about like, my dad's just dead, but having the faith that she can still be with him one day. I think that's really beautiful, and that's a great thing to, you know, latch onto instead of yelling at the kid, being like, "No, that's not true." You know,
well, and you carry that person's memory, and in this iteration of reality, you also have a fragment of them. So, it's. I think there's also that. It's just the person's not gone because there are people who love them that can carry that on too, which is sort of like a more tangible version of that kind of faith.
Well, it's saying too about the thing that you leave behind is love, and that love is, what was that thing that Keanu Reeves said on Stephen Colbert? I'm just remembering that right now.
Oh, what happens when we die?
Yeah, what happens when we die is the ones
who love us
will miss us. Yeah. And so that love that stays around is with the individuals you leave behind.
Yeah.
And to see that closing moment there was great. And I think it's really cool to do an episode that has such a bleakness around it, and to do this commentary in a way that just keeps you focused on the survival mechanism. And I think I like this game of just characters coming in and the performance by Ncuti Gatwa here was so strong. You know, because you have to represent like the physical struggle, the weight of this entire time, and simultaneously it's like pure Doctor to me, where it's problem solving all the way till the very end, till the last second countdown. Like, this felt like so Doctor Who to me.
Yeah,
and you know, it helps that like Steven Moffat's here writing this one. Did he write Midnight too? Is that Russel T. Davies?
I would be curious. I mean, I know they were probably collaborating a lot during that era, and that was Moffat was the showrunner then, right?
I don't recall. I forget.
I feel like they would have at least both been on the team at that moment in time.
But anyway, he's an amazing writer, and so to have this episode, I think it's the first one of this season that it's like it says he's the head writer of.
Sure.
Yeah, that was amazing, man.
Yeah. And the way it grows from, I like that they've been kind of throwing us these little curveballs, or at least as of especially the previous episode, and now this one, starting off in another kind of Doctor Who mode. Like, okay, now we're going to do a futuristic space war story, which is another lane that Doctor Who occupies. And like when you're in town first meeting the daughter and everything, I was like, oh, we are doing a Star Wars this week. Because, certainly some of the production values reminded me of that, and some of the garb and everything. But yeah, starting off in like, okay, this is going to be a big epic like space war, and then transitioning into, no, this is just laying a couple key pieces down so that then we can start what begins as a very immediate situation of just how do we not blow up the Doctor, and then zooming further and further out into, the complex circumstances. And I liked that this mingled commentary that, reflects heavily on history up till now, but also speculation on how the current advancements and especially AI and algorithms will intermingle with that. Because I mean, the Anglican Marines, it just reminded me of like, it's the Crusades again. Like the church is conquesting the world, and certainly many, not perhaps every war, but many wars, you can argue are conjured out of some sort of either nebulous boogeyman that is being sold to get conscripts and stuff, or some kind of precious resource we got to go and mine and whatever. And the more automated things become, like, it is a future fantasy in a lot of ways, but at the same time, like, this was one of those future theoretical episodes where the satire is clear, but also you can imagine how any number of the right few algorithms and systems put in place could create a future like this, especially the bigger corporations and the war machine, so to speak, becomes.
Well, a big part of the advancement of AI is the consistent fear of how human beings are no longer a necessary resource, that they're very much expendable.
Sure.
So to start off on this note, I just think it was actually really smartly written too.
Yeah.
To set us up where you don't even know what's up with the Doctor, who are we exactly following here at the very beginning. Like, I was actually really invested in that when John was about to die from the ambulance. Like, I was really hooked into what was happening. I wasn't even thinking about where's like the Doctor and Ruby and how we're going to tie into that, as opposed to just starting off the Doctor going to this planet and stepping on the landmine. Mm-hmm. Instead, showing us, because I feel like a lot of other Doctor Who episodes in the past would actually do that. They'd start off where they arrive on the planet, and then he steps on the landmine, and you're unveiling and learning the information. But to clue in the audience, take you away from the Doctor and Ruby's perspective, start off here as a bit of a prologue for the journey they're about to enter into, actually makes the stakes feel that much more present.
Yeah.
Because now you have an illustration of what you can latch onto. I think it's really smart writing versus what a lot of other Doctor Who episodes have definitely done in the past.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
Well, no, because you arrive in that conflict. It's like you arrive when you're like, oh, you're late. This guy just died.
Yeah,
and then instead of breezing into it, like having fun, and then oh shit, the landmine. It's sort of like, oh damn, we as the audience are already kind of bummed, I think, or dismayed that they show up again unawares. And then this happens.
Yeah.
Like that dual layer of conflict only we know about, and then the immediate conflict that's setting in on the Doctor.
Yeah, showing you what happens when you step on this, that it's like immediate. It's not like a landmine where you take your foot. Like, they establish the rules of the landmine pretty fast. Mm-hmm. It's once you step on it, you panic, everything goes off, then you get killed, versus step on it, then most movies like, okay, I just got to remain here and I got to find a way to get off this.
Yeah. I got to counterbalance. I got to just shift the weight or put something else on top of it.
Yeah, I thought it was just really, to me, I was really impressed with how they introduced that.
Yeah.
And the commentary too, of course, with like, there's so much happening here with the commentary of how AI is threatening in that way. Like that whole thing with not even, there's less empathy. As time will move on, there's less care for human beings. They literally like, 4 weeks is not enough time for you to heal. You're not really necessary. Yeah, I'm gonna kill you now.
Yeah. Blindness being a fatal disease.
Yeah,
just because we decided it so, or it doesn't match our bottom line.
Doesn't fit within our time frame. You're now expendable.
Yeah,
I think this was a fascinating episode. I mean, Devil's Chord is more like my jam, but I love the hell out of this one a lot. I thought this was an amazing episode. This felt like more Doctor Who to me than the other ones, actually.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, in the quintessential binding of those elements, like, oh yeah, here's a multifaceted sort of commentary.
What's this sonic screwdriver?
I am curious about that. Yeah.
Because normally that's how I screwdriver. I feel like we just got him out of. Didn't even acknowledge it.
I feel like there's just like an unspoken thing where we all go, I guess that would just solve the episode right away now, wouldn't it? So I guess we let it go. But it does create a question of, did he just not have it on him? He seems to typically have it on him, and I don't remember him losing it definitively last time.
Well, they said, what I love about what they've been doing with Ruby is she often asks a lot of questions the audience might ask. And to me, I felt like that was one moment, unless John and I are here completely forgetting something. Feel free to correct us in the comments. I'm like, why didn't anyone bother to like bring that up?
Yeah,
or like send Ruby to get my sonic screwdriver. I left it in the TARDIS or something.
Yeah, or if it's in my pocket, can I just get to it without shifting too much weight? You know, and you would imagine the Doctor would be able to do that.
Yeah,
and that is at least a pretty noticeable detail that I am curious as to what choice. I can't imagine they just forgot about it in the writing stage. So I do want, it's maybe the one thing about the episode that I'm like, maybe a beat just to pay that off. Because this too felt like it had substantial time to do what it wanted to do. And it felt like, I remember especially watching Space Babies being like, there are a lot of threads of interesting like potential commentary, but mostly this is about the adventure and it's about the dynamic between Doctor and Ruby. Whereas here, like, yeah, you have a pretty rich, sort of subtext that you can project onto, that they're not fully only focusing on, even though it is such a huge part of the episode. But yeah, you have, again, a conscientious bottle, and even moments that initially feel like they're a bit abrupt, like when the other guy dies, the guy who's in love with Mundi dies. At first I was like, wow, that was pretty quick. But then the reveal of like, well, the ambulances are gathering and they're revolting now because they're trying to protect themselves, sort of helped finesse that for me even. So it felt like, the amount of time they had here was kind of just right, and it was able to do the only other thing I would complain about is the daughter, not to shade the actress necessarily, but the way she was written was, I felt like they wrote a much younger character and cast an actress who's a bit too old to convince me that she would just ignore everything and watch these pictures on this hologram and not be a little bit more aware of the environment.
Oh yeah, that's a definite flaw.
But
she comes across precocious until that moment.
Yeah, and then it's just like, how old are you supposed to be?
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, it seems like what it wanted to achieve and the emotional flavors it wanted to encompass, allowed for breathing room, but also for a tight pace, for a lot of tension. And the performances, especially in Ncuti Gatwa, was like the amount, you're shooting this inevitably over several days, and his performance in particular has to be so gradual and so mounting and so consistent with itself, and like the teardrops at certain times that would come out, like he really embodied so much here, and just the sort of direct railing on the whole thoughts and prayers motif, and the thoughts and prayers motif not only as a bumper sticker for complacency, but a bumper sticker for like pretending to be benevolent when you're actively being malevolent. And it did it in a way that's obvious, but that didn't, to me, feel as sort of in your face as some of those things can feel in Doctor Who sometimes when they're going for like a conscious message or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and good production of it. Like this is a show that I feel like too, even when you can tell it's kind of volumey, I think that's actually okay. It's like it doesn't bother me here as much as it does in a Star Wars or something, because there's always been a charming amount of seams that you can kind of tell are there, and like the effects by comparison to anything that have come before look beautiful and are lovely, and I love that they took the time to be like, you've never seen sunrise on another planet.
Disney.
Yeah, but it does have like some Disney production values, but I actually don't, it's not bothering me.
As long as it's not affecting the story, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think the last bit of messaging that it seemed to be doing in a very apparent way was, in order to solve the day, it wasn't about getting an AI to comply. It was about finding the humanity.
Yeah.
And the humanity is what helped save the day at the end.
Yeah.
At the end of it all. It was the act of love that saved it all.
Yeah.
And that preservation of humanity is very important. It's kind of crazy to know that Steven Moffat used ChatGPT to write this episode.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. They just brought him in to touch up the script after the fact.
That's the wildest part.
Yeah. They just prompted it. A lot of good prompts, that's all you need. Technically the Doctor used AI to solve the situation. He gave it the right prompt. You don't know if his soul's actually in there. Maybe it was just a particularly good prompt.
And those landmines are like, I kept thinking of the self-checkouts at like Ralph's.
Sure.
Just like I move like a bag of chips.
Yeah,
And they're like, whoa,
you're
whoa,
shoplifting.
They're stealing from us.
Yeah. Light scratch. Yeah, if you stand here, we'll just blow up the register in 5 minutes so that we don't lose a cheese block or something like that. Or any food that's too light for the sensor to understand.
That was amazing.
Great.
I thought that was great.
That's terrific.
We pointed out a couple of things we had issues with.
Yeah. Yeah. There were some things. We never got to see Posh Graham's tattoo.
We don't need to.
And Love Guy was cool.
He was all right. I didn't care that he died after he shot Ruby.
No, I at least came around to like, damn, I'm actually annoyed at you two then being like, oh, well, this is sad. I feel for him.
I completely understand why he shot Ruby at the same time. I have a side here.
Yeah. But they managed to draw the different power dynamics in a way that once they shifted to their story perspective for that brief moment, I was like, oh, okay. I feel for you beyond just understanding the action. Yeah. Good shit.
I think that was actually a missing beat, was that was never acknowledged to him.
That
no, that wasn't. She wasn't trying to shoot me.
They sort of do, but I guess it does get.
It kept getting chalked up to it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now.
Yeah,
which is true. It doesn't matter now.
Yeah, done is done, and we're screwed.
He just died confused.
Yeah, he did. I feel like that's kind of tragic. Yeah,
he just died. Like, I don't know what's exactly happening right now.
I just confessed my love. I'm not even sure if I should have shot that lady, and I'm dead.
This dude just convinced me that maybe all I've been fighting here for is pointless.
Yeah,
poor guy.
And when did he record his thingy? Because the dad recorded his moment before death.
And it sounds like you can record it just in case.
So I guess he just did this a long time ago.
And the dad never did. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I guess that's what I would do.
Yeah.
If I love somebody that much.
Damn.
And no mud monster. That was a fun tease. I like that they teased us with monsters that we didn't need to actually even have, and the ambulances are like different Daleks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with Ncuti Gatwa, it's the one little lick I want to get in here just for my own sake, is the way his performance builds throughout of I love a performance when someone is in a panic or is stressed and they're doing everything they can to not project that.
Yes.
Because it immediately creates a multitude of emotions that is going on with the character. Like my favorite, I think my favorite DiCaprio performance is not exactly this, something like this, like it's The Departed. Someone who's just hyper paranoid and on edge, but has to try to keep his cool the whole time.
Yeah.
And you watch with the Doctor here of just everything just keeps getting worse, and he cannot move from this situation, and he has to control himself. And I thought Ncuti Gatwa just embodied that so well.
Yeah.
That when he's like getting mad at Mundy for the Faith War and everything like that, it's like in a different set of circumstances, he might not be such an aggressive ass about it, right?
Yeah.
But due to the rush, due to the fact Ruby's now dying, due to everything that's happening, he's going to be a little bit pushy about this.
You're the first you're the first manager I've been able to speak to on the matter. Yeah.
And
the first human face I can put to this.
I loved how his performance started off as like, it's okay, I gotta be zen, and he's like slowly losing that zen over time.
Yeah,
where he just has to become the intense Doctor who takes control to find the solution.
Yeah,
I thought, and it's a performance where it's so out of his control, and he's trying to gain control the entire time. it's such a limitation. I thought it was I would say Devil's Chord is my favorite episode so far of Ncuti Gatwa. I would say this is my favorite performance of Ncuti Gatwa, though, out of all the Doctor Who episodes that he's been in, though.
Agree.
Yeah.
Easily, yeah.
But guys, what did you think about this episode? Is it too woke?
Well, it's just going to remain too woke as long as the Doctor is black and queer. It's just a fact of life now.
The thing about the YouTube algorithm now is that there's so many people who, and I don't know if this happens for you guys, but on our end, God, it's kind of like nonstop. I get this mixture on our end of a lot of positive endorsing Doctor Who stuff, and then I get the complete, railing into Doctor Who.
On any given day, Doctor Who is completely has no one watching it and is about to fail catastrophically, or it's terrific and it's the best thing.
Yeah. And I sometimes, and I know some of those you just never really see about the thing I find interesting about it is it's like there's the same kind of channels who will be like, Marvel's dead, Marvel's too woke or whatever. But then when a Marvel's a hit, you never hear them talk about it, right?
Sure.
Or then they'll say it's a hit because it wasn't woke or something, or some bullshit.
Or they'll just still complain that it's dying, and
they'll find something, right? Yeah,
yeah.
And I think we never. And I think Doctor Who is in that same camp now. I know it's been on that trajectory ever since Jodie Whittaker, because the second you cast a woman to be the Doctor, you just kind of expect that to pop off
for a bunch of people to start caring, so they can be mad about that.
Yeah, it's but obvious. I was here, and I obviously wasn't a big fan. I'm a big fan of Doctor Who, but I wasn't a big fan of Space Babies. And I can look at that episode and go, I don't really like this episode, and here's why. Versus some of these the reason why I bring up some of these other channels, why they annoy me so much, is because they're just looking for what can we say to shit on this. And
yeah,
because you can't. Sorry, I just got to finish this. You can't watch an episode like this. You could probably bitch about whatever you want. Honestly, I could expect those channels to be like, ratings suck, visual effects, or whatever the hell they want to say, right? The commentary, the poking, taking jabs, whatever the hell you want to say. But I'm like, will they acknowledge how great of a performance Ncuti Gatwa gave, though? Because it is, to me, it's almost undeniable how great of a performance he gave here.
No, it can't be good because it's too woke.
Yeah, well, you can't say it's good because it's not what people are here watching me here for. He's fucking great at this.
I can't give credit to the face of why this is woke and going broke. Yeah. It's just not doable.
Yeah.
Well, and I think
I watch it all now. I just watch it all. I watch the hate videos. I watch the love videos.
Well, I feel like a lot of the hate videos, too, just amount to this thing is failing because me and people who think this way don't like it, is ultimately the message I frequently get.
Yeah.
Because then you can pick out any detail and be like, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad, and everyone agrees. Yeah. And, everyone is an arbitrary figure.
But my favorite channel to watch of Doctor Who has been Who Culture. They're amazing. Their celebration of Doctor Who. I love their. I tend to watch a video. There's at least once or twice a week. They're amazing. If you haven't seen their breakdowns, I'm looking forward to their breakdown for this episode too. They're a fantastic channel. I kind of just preview what the haters are saying. Just don't spend my time with it. It just becomes repetitive talking points after a certain point.
Well, yeah. And again, Doctor Who is a character, is a story, is a franchise that embodies to me. If ever I could imagine a fandom that shows its love, sometimes with tough love and criticism, it's like there's a markedly different flavor of that. It's weird. It's like there's so many people complaining about Doctor Who I get the sense wouldn't have cared before. And it's not like Doctor Who is an uncomplainable thing. There are lots of things types of things people don't like or don't think are good about classic eras, new eras, whatever else. And so it's, there's one corner of vitriol that's just kind of committed to that, which is just the antithesis of Doctor Who to me. It's that kind of thinking.
And because of the kind of thinking of Doctor Who, I like to sometimes check out the complete opposite opinion.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, let me try to understand what they're saying.
And let me test my beliefs.
Not like, hey, are they right? Should I change? Yeah, and let me. I'm always the kind of individual who wants to hear whatever someone is speaking authentically, even if it's a completely different point of view for me. I just want to at least hear it and be receptive and open-minded to it. Then once in a while, you come across these, and you're like, yeah, I kind of see what's going on now.
Yeah, I get what perspective you're coming from, and you're not actually trying to engage with the show to make your point.
And to be fair, I understand that the Doctor Who has made a lot of, like, it's a major swing and a major difference for decades to go from a man to then going to a woman. It is a major swing at the end of the day, and I can understand how some people, when they see the writing combined with that change, where you see especially with that era of how that writing was for that, of the shift in there, I can get on board with at least understanding why people started falling off of Doctor Who, because some of those episodes for us were not easy to sit through just because of the writing. It had nothing to do with Jodie Whittaker itself. And we were excited about Jodie Whittaker. And then, coming through here, you get a kind of a different flavor. Like even the Tenet episodes didn't exactly play out how I thought they would play out. When you hear Russell T Davies is coming in, I really enjoyed the hell out of them. Yeah. But they were so different. And often when you go for something so different, even though I feel like there's plenty there that still feels like Doctor Who, but when you go for something so different at the same time, of course there's going to be people who just hate change, or if they become a little bit more upfront with commentating on things that you hear people commentating about today, then of course they're going to rile it up, because we're all living in this Twitter world where we get riled up about shit that doesn't really affect us most of the time.
Or people get riled up about it's like I can understand if you're upset about a change to canon, like the whole thing about the Doctor's origin that they introduced with Jodie Whittaker and the lost child and all that stuff. Like I get if you're not about that choice. Or some kind of any element that suggests to me that you took the episode in and had your issues. I'm like, that's fine. That's part of, I think, just the up and down of watching Doctor Who for so long, and part of the price that comes with the amount of swings the show is able to take. And there are certain things where it's like, the concept of the Doctor as a character to me leaves the door wide open to have anybody be the Doctor, because of course, because why not? But also,
he's not even a human being.
Exactly, not a human being, and constantly changing form and regeneration. Like, it's not that big of a step to be like woman or non-white dude. But you build that up over so much time. Like that's on the side of things where I personally can't really understand I can understand needing to acclimate, but I can't really understand.
That's a much better way to put it. I would understand. Yeah, that's a much better way to put it.
Instead of just being like, I'm not about this, like, because it's just in the DNA of the character. I even get, like, by comparison, someone goes, Peter Parker is so established as this one kind of guy. Like, I don't think it really matters what race Peter Parker is, but Peter Parker's been white for so long, I get it. But the Doctor, the whole point baked into the character is this person changes. Yeah. And so, like, there's, I think, a difference between needing to acclimate, and maybe you don't ultimately click with it one way or another, but there's a certain level of surface rejection that always suggests, like, acclimation was never on your mind to begin with. And that's unfortunate, because watching these episodes here, like, I would agree, Space Babies, while charming in certain ways, is certainly not in my greater Doctor Who episodes. But it's hard to look at something like these and deny the quality that's at work there.
I don't like when studios do obvious pandering as well, when it's so obvious what they're doing.
Yeah, disingenuousness sucks.
I hate it. And anytime you pick up on a lack of sincerity, I hate it. And I think sometimes when they make certain casting choices, people will immediately assume that this is all it's going to be, is a bunch of diversity pandering. And if you don't give the show a chance, it's like, if you go, they made the Doctor a woman, right? You might go, they're just doing this for the pandering or whatever.
Put a chick in and make her gay.
Maybe you have that thought. But if you check out the episodes, and it's like, is the episodes really about that? Are the episodes, is the show really about that?
Yeah,
you got to go
actual
find out.
essence?
Is the actual context truly about that? The Doctor's now a black guy. Is it really about him being black?
It's all black issues now. It's only Black Lives Matter.
Like,
That's right.
and that's to summarize. I wasn't prepared to talk about this, so I know I've been like zigzagging like a mofo here. That's my essence though of what I'm speaking about is. Yeah. Some people have this preconceived notion and they just run with that preconceived notion instead of going to check it out for what it is. Yeah. There have been a lot of people who don't like the fact that they cast Ncuti Gatwa, right? It's been a big thing. He's had to acknowledge it himself. Mm-hmm. And then you go watch and I'm like, there's nothing here about him like being a black guy.
No,
he's like nothing here.
He's a timeless alien who exists in multiple forms, and he carries the just as Jodie Whittaker did, the spirit and essence of who we know this character to be: the whimsy, the brilliance, the cantankerousness in different shades and levels. But again, I feel like they are still on fire in terms of casting these roles, no matter how the episodes pan out or the major swings at certain arcs pan out. And that's what bothers me when I hear like, oh yeah, Dr. Woke. It's like, okay, if it's an episode about some issue, I understand that dog whistle. But if it's just like, again, there's a certain amount of it that, just because this doctor looks the way that they do, and we know this about them, it is woke or whatever you want to label it as. And it's just, he's just acting. He's just doing the adventure and being the character. And it's never in your face about what kind of casting choice he is. He's just doing the role.
And then all that being said, if you don't like the writing, if you don't like the direction, if you don't like the acting, I just go, okay, I respect that. That, I just go,
you're right.
Okay, all right, absolutely.
I'm sure some people hate my favorite episodes and love ones I think are pretty bad.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the part I'm talking about. It's like, if you don't like it, if you're a Doctor Who fan, and you're like, I just really don't like the way the writing has been this season, so I just can't continue it, then cool. Let's leave it at that.
Check in later. That's a great thing about Doctor Who. You can always just check in later.
It's just this other side that it's like, God, I feel like there's, and I'm being really personal about it. It's that there's been so much investment in this show on our end, my life, and it is painful when you see that the thing that garners the most attention generally for it are the ones who just isolate things to cause so much slander around Doctor
to make it a divisive culture war.
And I'm like, it does upset me. It does. I know I ought to not be upset by it, but it does. It's upsetting when I'm like, man, the show's so much not about that.
And you're not giving it a chance.
And it's always, even in the things they're mad about, if they're like, oh, they're doing woke politics or trying to promote this thing, even if that's it, I'm like, well, the intention behind that, is that really even a bad thing if they're doing, obviously, like I said, I hate disingenuous. I hate when things are not sincere, where you can feel like business placating, diversity pandering, whatever the hell, right? I'm not a fan of that either. At the same time, when you look at the actual writing of what they are intending to say, is it really that bad what they're trying to say?
And is it really out of line with what they've been saying for so long, at least about, populism and humanity and all sorts of other things?
They're always saying be equal, be nicer to the planet, be nicer to people.
Don't just judge other species and try to exterminate them immediately.
What it keeps, every point
Don't
keeps coming back to the same
people.
shit.
Individuals matter. Small acts of rebellion and or love matter.
It's the same shit that Doctor Who's been saying the entire time. People are equal, be nice, and be kind to the world. It's the same shit.
Kindness,
that's all they're saying.
Intelligence, cleverness.
So whatever messaging you're mad about, I'm like, it's really just another version of what Doctor Who has already been saying since the freaking Eccleston days. I can't speak to the classic Who, but I'm assuming the classic Who as well. But to the Eccles and them, like, yeah, it's the same freaking message that they've always been saying.
Well, and it's weird because too, Doctor Who has crested so heavily into the mainstream, but this is like a decade or more ago. This was a show for nerds and theater kids. You know what I mean? And sci-fi heads.
Yeah.
And so like half the conversation that has arisen as of Whitaker and now especially as of Ncuti Gatwa, like it is very much like, are you new? Where have you been? Like, are you just upset that now you're aware of a new kind of media that sort of borders on the thing you hate?
Yeah. And if those hater people are watching this video, I'm like, you're at the wrong channel, man.
Yeah. But thank you for the watch time. Thanks for making it this far.
Being here.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
We're clearly not part of that side of the internet for this show.
We'll just complain when it doesn't actually land and the writing is lackluster or something like that. But I don't know, too. I feel like I appreciate a show like this. It's always swinging because sometimes they miss, but sometimes they hit.
Yeah.
And it's kind of rare now that you get something that's allowed to swing, and that's kind of part of what we love about it.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. We're done.
We did it. Lex! Listen, Lex. You are the most valuable person here at the Patreon. You want to know why?
Yeah, I want to know why.
Because each one of you is individually the most valuable person at the Patreon. But
Sounds
you,
like a cop-out. Cop-out.
But listen up, because it gets better. I'm never going to cop out on this one. Because you're the best out of all the best ones. And that's a hard job to do.
You're putting down other people to uplift.
Because Lex is here to uplift the rest of the patrons, the least of us and the most of us. Lex,
all the patrons against Lex
is, it's got to be a fight to the death. There's got to be one patron left at the end of this, and my money's on you. So I'm just letting you know that now. All right,
when we break that offer that makes Lex the best,
dude. Lex is dedicated. Lex has a broad taste, which means that Lex probably can adapt to many different situations.
I'm sure there's other people who are listening to this right now. Their Patreon who's like, well, I'm
Lex
that.
Is mononymous, which is special.
Explain it in simple terms.
It just means you go by one name.
Okay.
And it's like nice and succinct. You could put that on a building and add corp at the end, and that's all you need.
She has mono. Got it.
Yes, you've got mono, and we hope you get better. And don't be sharing sodas with people, because that's how you get mono, and that's why you are isolated here from the rest of the patrons. Mostly because we don't want them to catch mono.
Got it.
That's what's So I just want to make you feel better about having mono by embellishing your greatness.
Right. Okay.
But honestly, just take some time, get better, and let us know when you are, so that we can let you back in to the greater group.
Cool. I think you really solidify why Lex is the best.
The best. No. If you don't understand how many layers deep this was, then that's just on you. Okay?
Absolutely.
You don't even know. All right. That's how great you are. Is you can't even acknowledge your own greatness.
Right.
Because you stifled that so that other people don't feel intimidated by your greatness. And that's an act of greatness in and of itself that is impossible to ignore. So you're failing, but in the greatest of ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they teach us in improv. Fail big.
Happy shout out.
Happy shout out, Lex. We love you.